Hello, Hopsack, Folkers, Hopsack land. You might recognize the person beside me. You might not recognize the person beside me. She is Rebecca Quin, Becky Lynch, aka Becky Lynch of WWE fame.
Yes.
Super fame. Yeah, super. Okay, relative to most, let's say super fame. But so Becky used to work in our shop, weirdly enough, and when she came to us, you'd already had a career in professional wrestling.
Yeah, I'd given it up. Because I started when I was 15, and then left home when I was like 18 and went to Canada, and then wrestled in Japan and was signed to one of the largest advertising agencies there, and then was around America, around Europe and everything like that, and then I just didn't know if that was what I wanted to do for my entire life, because I had like a passion for training and a passion for health food and a passion for performing, and I just didn't know if that was where all my energy should go for the rest of my life.
Yeah, so when you came to us, you were like, you did Gaiety acting school, and you were doing like combat classes in acting school. I remember you getting crazy about the acting school thing, and then you got crazy about stunt work as well, right? For a little while, there was like Becky's going to be a stunt driver lady.
And I was.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
You actually did you?
Yeah, I was a stunt woman on the Vikings.
Oh, no way. Oh, actually, I did hear about that. Yes, yeah. Ah, cool.
Yeah,
So
while I was working with you.
that was still there?
Yes.
Vikings has been going on for forever.
Yes.
That's
was
amazing.
3 years ago.
Okay, yeah. So but in those 3 years, like, a lot has happened, it's fair to say. Like, when you disappeared off, so we heard Becky, we were very sad when Becky obviously came along and said, "Oh, I'm going to have to leave. Oh, I've got a contract with the WWE." I was like, okay, that sounds insane, all right. but knowing that Becky, that you'd had like a career already, and I'd seen the Japanese fan mag, which like when people were like pouring out grief when you quit because you got injured or whatever originally, and so it was like, okay, maybe it's plausible, maybe that's actually true. It's not just like an excuse to get out of working in a knapsack. And then off you went.
One.
Yeah, very elaborate one, exactly. So we were like checking your Twitter, and is she definitely over there? But you were definitely over there.
I was definitely over there.
So you had like a couple of years of what happened. So because I remember there was a year or two where you're not actually out there in the public eye, or
So when I got over there, so basically I left for 7 years. I hadn't wrestled in 7 years. I was I was flight attendant. I worked for you. For
That was the other thing you'd done. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Aer Lingus,
And I got over there, and I didn't have any confidence in wrestling, anymore, because there was an idea of me because I had done so much in the business.
An expectation
before, but I hadn't done any of that in 7 years.
Long time. Okay, yeah.
I'd done bits of different things, like
acrobatic stuff,
martial arts, aerial arts, and acting and this, that, and whatever. But it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
So I went over, and it was kind of just that struggle to I don't know, believe in myself again. And it wasn't necessarily that I didn't know what I was doing, or it was just that I didn't believe, and I wanted to make sure that people didn't think I had an ego about myself. So I kind of put myself down, and I was just struggling to rebuild myself and find my character.
That's a toughie.
Yeah,
that's a toughie. Because one of the things I think about you when we knew you in the shop, you're relentlessly positive. You have a great mental attitude, a great mental game, as I say. But it's true. It's true. I mean, I don't remember you. I either remember you laughing or crying, and we only had like a couple of moments of crying. Most of it was laughing, so like 99% plus.
Yes.
So and that must have been, did you find that was that the first time in your life that you'd had that sort of like internal challenge where you were being really down on yourself, or are you always like that and you just have to get over that? Or
always like that and have to get over, well, and not that I stay there, but I think that's part of life, you know, and you can't have the yin without the yang, you know. And it's always trying to find people that are going to help you and different things, and whether it's so much of it comes down to diet, you know, when you start eating a certain way, and then you take that out, and then you notice that your energy goes.
It's weird, isn't it?
Insane.
It's insane. Powerful. And when obviously diet is a big factor, did you find when you moved to the States, was there a big shift in that diet? And I want to come back to your mental attitude, but did you find there was a big shift in your diet, and did that really affect you? Did you find like, oh crap, because you moved straight to Florida, right?
I moved straight to Florida.
And Florida doesn't have the best reputation as being a very healthy eating state, even within a reasonably unhealthy nation. I'm sorry to say about the United States, but like, yeah, it has some problems.
Yes, but like when I first got over there, I didn't have a car, and like you cannot get around Orlando without a car.
Okay.
So I was just brought to Walmart, you know,
God.
and that was where I had to do all my grocery shopping. And so now obviously I can go to Whole Foods and go to the farmers market and you know, get everything that I need and what I'd usually eat. But when I was over there, and there's iHerb, you know what I mean, for all the supplements and everything like that. Yeah, but it's not, and my diet wasn't ever terrible, but
the stuff wasn't on your doorstep in the same way as it would have been over here, where you can just go blunk. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, you had to make an effort.
And I had no Hopsack.
I know Hopsack. I
still don't.
Sad but true. But yeah, one day we'll get to like US shipping. Who knows?
I'm hoping.
We're working on it. So going back to like your mental attitude stuff, did you like adopt any particular practices to kind of like, or would you say, is there any particular thing that you'd hang your hat on? I know diet is a big factor, but like on its own, diet does a certain amount. Beyond, and even to adopt the dietary stuff kind of takes a certain kind of mental attitude and a kind of a discipline, right?
Yes, totally. I think a lot. I started getting really big into yoga.
Oh, right, cool.
When I was coming out of everything and trying to figure out, you know, and because there was one time when I just like broke down. I was like, I don't know, I can't give anymore. I'm giving everything, and I don't know if I'm getting anywhere, etc., etc. And I started just doing lots of yoga and you know, like, I mean, I'm not the typical what they call a diva, you know, and anything. I'm different. I'm alternative, and I would just like, you know, just constantly just hope for guidance or hope to hear that inner voice of,
good
you know,
stuff.
It's just going to be
You're
okay.
doing the right thing, keep it going. I think for so many things in life, probably just the keeping going is probably enough in itself. It's like the questioning ourselves nearly always comes at a point where we're just around the corner from like a really good moment. Yeah. But it's that perseverance, which is like that last 10% that's kind of like, and you know, there's obvious like correlations with like marathon runners or whatever, where, you know, the end is just in sight, and it's that moment before you see the end, you're like, fuck, I give up. Like you're, and you sort of say it internally, like, oh God, did I just say that? Yeah. You know, and you have to sort of go, no, whoa. This is like, you realize why you're doing things. You have to sort of come back to, there's a purpose behind what you're doing.
Yes, exactly.
You go on.
Oh, no, but even when you're saying that, like, as well, it's that I give up. But in that, like, I give up, but I'm still doing things. And it's just like, but I can't give anymore. Let me give up the worry a little bit and like let that go and let's hope for the best.
Bang on.
And that's kind of what happens, even in that just.
In that moment, it's kind of a letting go.
And
so it might be good to say I give up from time to time.
It is, because you just at least let go of that pressure that you're putting on. And know that you're doing all that you can, and that the rest is just sometimes in the hands of the universe, or just sometimes you just have to let it go and hope that it's going to happen. Because when you're doing all that you can, there's nothing else. There's
nothing more there to give. You have to just trust you're doing it the right way.
Exactly.
I like that. I give up. That's what we're going to call this podcast.
But it's also. I always think whenever I'm like struggling and all these things are like really hard and I'm going through it, and I just go, wow. If I ever write a biography, this is the stuff that's interesting. Nobody wants to hear about it's all great and it's all this and it's all the roads. They want to know how you got out of that hardship, like, and can
the bits of struggle. For sure.
Interesting.
That's what people learn from. That's the only thing people learn. People, like, I was actually listening to Chael Sonnen. Do you know Chael Sonnen?
Yes, yeah.
He's like, so he's a big podcast in the States now. Chael Sonnen, you're welcome. And he was saying how it was weird. Maybe it was a mental fart, I don't know, but he said, like, because he was talking about the Ronda Rousey Holly Holm thing, which is just happened. So for people who are not initiates of the UFC, there was a big fight at the weekend that took place in mixed martial arts between the top lady of mixed martial arts, you know, worldwide. She's kind of seen as a kind of I don't want to say a diva. She's not at all. But she's a lady who's sort of like carved a niche for women's MMA, and so she was given this big challenge, and she finally lost this weekend. And so this guy Chael Sonnen was saying how he's saying, because like winners don't learn from losing, and I was like, that can't be right. It was just a weird moment. I was like, because
winners don't learn from
losing. I was like,
wait,
because he was saying I never lost and everything. He was just, I think he was having a weird mental fart. I was like, I think that's totally wrong. I think the only thing you learn from really is kind of losing. You don't, when you're winning, you have a great time.
Yeah.
But it's the losing bit that actually gets you into places that actually puts you in places that kind of change your mental space so that you can do things, right?
Completely. Like that's what my trainer says. He says you learn more from a bad match than you will ever learn from having a good match.
Yeah.
Because if you've got pride in your art, which
Yeah.
hopefully everybody does, when you leave that and you're thinking about it on the way home and you're like, oh, what could I have done better, and I could have done this. It keeps you up at night and you're like, blah 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 blah. But you don't do that if you have a good match.
You don't obsess about it. You're like, cool, great, let's go.
I'm deadly. And maybe that helps your confidence and maybe that translates. But
there's a balance there, though, isn't there, as well? Because I mean, like repeat losing is not good for you either. Like,
no,
you need to have a bit of both. Yeah. And do you find, so when you're training, you were saying, just before we started the podcast, Becky was saying that she's not she's having difficulty standing up. She's definitely not having difficulty standing up, but that she, for as a result of like a lot. I mean, like you were wrestling for 21 days straight.
Like 20, 20.
Like that sort of pressure you put on the body. Like, how do you build in recovery time so that you even have a chance to kind of be reflective and have time to build your art and kind of like find yourself within that?
That's the constant struggle.
It's a toughie. Okay,
yeah,
that's the toughie.
I'm still working on it, and I think for me, yoga is like my numero uno when I get home, like to be able to do yoga and just like center myself and just stretch and just everything feels better.
Lovely.
I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu and
really?
And boxing and stuff like that, and doing those things that are kind of related and I feel that are gonna help. It takes my mind away from, because I care so much about wrestling.
Yeah.
I often put a lot of pressure on myself, so that if I don't do something right, I like beat myself up. But I don't have that same passion. I love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I love kickboxing.
But the pressure isn't there.
But the pressure isn't there, so I can kind of have fun, and then I can discover things, and then I'm not focusing and putting all my attention on it so much that things just kind of come to me.
Okay.
Which I find better.
Yeah, it makes sense. Totally. Yeah, that's when you get your moments for like, okay, so you have work today. That's great. It's not a constant struggle. You've totally cracked it.
Well, more or less, yeah, but still I have a hard time. I have a hard time just doing nothing, which I think sometimes you need to do.
I know. I'm actually the same, unfortunately. In our little world as well, I think we have the same sort of it's kind of I think once you discover something you love, the compulsion, the point where they're meant to there's always somebody who's like dong 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 dong, and people kind of saying, oh, you taking, you heading out this weekend, or you blah blah blah, and you kind of go, well, no, because I'm doing this or doing this. But you treat other things as time, like you treat jiu-jitsu as time off.
Yes.
And you treat, like it's for other people saying, stop training. But it's like, no, this is my fun. This is my whatever release. And likewise for me, if I'm sitting down reading nutrition stuff or looking at Chris Kresser podcast or whatever it is, that's kind of time off, and that's as much as you can. I mean, like, yes, if you stop thinking, you're like, oh, maybe I do want to go for a pint. But that the life that you have, what you're doing is so much more gratifying.
Yes, because you're doing it. You're enjoying yourself all the time.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
just for like a short.
Yeah, you're not living two lives. You're not living this split life. Yeah, which is what so many people unfortunately end up doing, I think, because they adopt a job that they think is just about money, and then it's not the passion anymore, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But lucky us, we get to the passion.
Yes. But also sometimes, like, like I've got some friends that they have no passion, or they don't know what it is
in their career or whatever. Yeah,
they don't, and then and it's just like, and they're constantly trying to find that.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, it's okay to not find
That's
it
a very
as well,
good point. Yeah,
and not to just be like trying like rigidly to find a passion, because like. Sometimes you just live your life. Sometimes, and you go into work and you do 9 to 5. It's very true, and I think has it come a little bit probably from the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram thing. Everyone's seeing all these other people posting these like unbelievable days they're having, where they're watching sunrises and sunsets and doing yoga on the cliff, and they're like, and they seem to be doing like this aspirational thing that people are always like, oh my god, they're so passionate about what they're doing, and there's always smiles on their face and blah blah blah, and it's not reflective of anyone's real life all the time. Really, it's a highlight reel.
It's
completely a highlight reel.
That's true.
And then I've got my brother's an artist and stuff like that, and
wow.
he always just says I can't remember who it was that said it originally, but find what you love and let it slowly kill you. because you put so much into it, and you take so much pride in it that it hurts sometimes, if you feel like you're not doing enough, this, that, and whatever. So
That's an interesting one, actually. That's an interesting
Yeah.
tension. Like, there's a, you know John McLaughlin? Of course you
Yes,
know John
of
McLaughlin.
course.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're actually about to do a podcast, so we've been sort of having these chats that came, we did one a few months ago, but this sort of thing that came up where, you know, your ultimate best bit is also the ultimate thing that kills you. I know that's an awful way to put it, but it is. It's like, it's your best side is also your worst side, because the thing that you're best at is also the thing that really you put so much effort in that it negatively influences other things. So we're going to call it like gifts and chains, because it's sort of like, you know, you're sort of like, it's the one thing that kind of makes you who you are,
Yeah.
but it's going to get you in the end, you know. And it's okay. It's good to adopt that, but it's nice for people to find. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a career thing,
Yeah.
but there's something within everybody that's like their best side that they just need to kind of go for and accept that. Yeah, okay, this is it's tunnel vision, and this is what it is, and this is what I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to watch that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, let me know when that one comes
It's a
out.
conversation we haven't fully explored yet, but came up with gifts and chains, and John was like, maybe I'll write a song. I was like, maybe we'll do a podcast. He's like, maybe we'll write a song on the podcast.
Ooh.
No, we're not going to do that. That's ambitious. I don't know. I've never. John's amazing, but I'm not going to write a song on a podcast.
Oh, you're quite the musician too, aren't you?
Not in a long time now. I've been playing drums and stuff, but not out loud, just to myself on the farm. So, moving in a different direction, you brought me something yummy.
Yes.
Really yummy. This is a high protein brownie from Quin, Becky Lynch's favorite company. What do they do other than this? Like, this is an amazing protein brownie.
Now they've started doing. They do like powdered peanut butter and stuff like that.
Oh,
and,
okay, yeah.
They do protein shakes and everything like that. But I just love the brownies. They're
But
they're amazing.
it's like it's made of air, but it's
Yeah.
got 22 grams of protein. But it's like it only
Yes.
weighs about 22 grams.
Yes.
Like, there's nothing else there.
No.
Okay. And you told me there was like probably one of the best ways to explore this was possibly to have this as ice cream.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. And heat it up.
We didn't get a chance to
probably
heat it.
should heat
Oh.
But
we slightly ruined. Okay, well,
But
I hope we haven't
it'll
told you
still
ruined
be
this
good.
one. I'm going to give you a brownie,
okay.
and I'm going to have. Do you want what do you? Okay, so we got a choice here.
Ooh,
We
no,
brought along Novo. Yeah, so we've got two of our favorite ice creams. We got Novo chocolate toasted almonds, which is loads of little bits of almonds, yum yum. Or we've got Wei strawberry. Now, if the Wei chocolate was there, I'm not going to say I'd be picking it over Novo, but I think the Novo, the almonds.
The chocolate and the chocolate.
Is it too much? No, it's good.
No, I think it's good.
It's okay to have
I think it's
too
good.
much. Great. There's a spoon. Nice one. You don't need a spoon for the brownie, do you?
No.
Spoon for ice cream then. Have you've had Novo before?
I've had Nova.
I always forget, like-
at the Dunleary market.
Oh yeah, that's a lovely farmer's market. Have a look at that, dude.
Wait.
Oh, there we
I
go.
wish they had Way in America.
Have they got like say okay? So they have lots of these sorts of weird things around though these days, right?
Yes, but they don't have Way.
You know, here I'm gonna try some brownie because I
Okay.
have tried everything else before. I'm not gonna. Yeah, brownie. Good. Yum.
So good. Oh my god.
This is not bad.
Oh my god.
It's squidgy.
Yeah.
It's really squidgy. Okay.
Yeah, heating it up, it's like the business.
You're never actually going to believe how light this is. It's so weird. She handed it to me and I was like, you know, usually you expect somebody like, oops, I'm cut off. You expect somebody who's a professional wrestler who hands you a snack. The snack is going to be like so heavy, it's going to be like a kettlebell and you won't be able to lift it. This is kind of the opposite. This is like, it's like a deceptive
It's light,
heaviness.
and I always feel like real good after I eat it, you know? I don't feel like I'm...
Delicious. Cool. So tell me about what's your story for the rest of the year in terms of...
now for the rest of the year. I won't get home for Christmas this year, so I'm going to go to New York. Luckily, I've got a friend coming down to visit me. But otherwise, I was just going to spend like Christmas in New York, like I was Macaulay
That would be
Culkin.
amazing. Oh my God, Debbie, like left at home.
Yeah, totally.
Kevin!
Make friends with like a homeless lady, give her some like her gloves. It was just going to be amazing. But
Nice one.
yeah.
And so, do you think will you be able to drag your family across or anything like that?
No, because my stepbrother's getting married.
Oh wow.
In I think 2 days before Christmas. So
Yeah?
so everybody's going to be there, and so
gonna happen
I
over
don't
here.
have to worry about the stress of that.
Okay. You didn't say that out loud.
I didn't,
Yeah,
no.
no, we love weddings. We love weddings. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you so much for coming in.
No,
thank you
you.
for sharing brownie with me
Anytime,
and having a bit of
for the
crack.
elbow.
That's great. Yeah, you're great. Lovely. And thank you guys for watching. Thanks a million. Bye bye, Becky Lynch.